Nicki Minaj's history of beef is so long, they should name a slaughterhouse after her. From collaborators to exes to literally anyone who mentions her name, almost no one is safe from the wrath of the queen. But not everybody takes it lying down. These are the celebs who can't stand Nicki Minaj. Grade A Cardi B beef. In December 2017, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj both appeared in the video for Migros' hit single, Motorsport, which subsequently led to boatloads of drama. In an interview with Capital Extra, Cardi B said Minaj altered her verse before the song's release.
When I heard the track,
Right.
her verse was in Finnish. Well, it's not the verse that is on right now.
Minaj responded to the claim in a Beats One interview, claiming that Cardi B and her husband, Kiari Offset Cephas, a member of Migos, simply weren't playing fair.
They'll allow people to run with the lie because it's entertaining to make Nicki seem like a bad guy. And it's sad.
It gets worse. In September 2018, Minaj and Cardi B got into a very public physical altercation at Harper's Bazaar annual Icons party. Cardi reportedly left the party missing a shoe and sporting a huge bump over her eye that was roughly the size of a golf ball. Shortly after the fight, Cardi took to Instagram to accuse Minaj of bad-mouthing her baby. When you mention my child, all bets are off. Meanwhile, Minaj denied any wrongdoing on her Queen radio show.
I would never talk about anyone's child or parenting. I don't care about anyone's parenting.
Bad blood with Taylor Swift. In a July 2015 tweet, Nicki Minaj took issue with the 2015 MTV Music Video Awards nomination for Video of the Year, writing, "If your video celebrates women with very slim bodies, you will be nominated for Vid of the Year." Minaj was clearly alluding to the fact that the racy video for a hit single, Anaconda, hadn't been nominated. At the time, Taylor Swift was riding high on the success of her 1989 album, and she evidently took Minaj's comments as a diss. In a now-deleted tweet, Swift wrote, "I've done nothing but love and support you. It's unlike you to pit women against each other. Maybe one of the men took your slot." It didn't take long for Minaj to respond. "Huh? You must not be reading my tweets. Didn't say a word about you. I love you just as much, but you should speak on this." Talking to Good Morning America shortly after the back and forth, Minaj suggested the beef was squashed.
So she was, super, super sweet, and she apologized.
The ladies even teamed up for a duet at the awards ceremony to show solidarity with one another. But that solidarity didn't last too long, because Minaj later did a guest vocal on Swish Swish, Katy Perry's attempt at a diss track against Swift. And when Swift dropped Look What You Made Me Do in August 2017, Minaj tweeted a particular Kendrick Lamar lyric that read in part, "Sit down, be humble." Many fans perceive this as yet another dig at Swift. Is your brain about to explode? Going after Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus used to be a big Nicki Minaj fan. She even dressed up as the monster rapper for Halloween in 2012, and Minaj absolutely loved the costume, gushing to USA Today. "She is the best Nicki Minaj impersonator I've seen in my life. She's adorable." Unfortunately, this two-person mutual adoration society didn't last for long. After Minaj and Taylor Swift had their little Twitter scuffle, Cyrus gave her 2 cents to the New York Times, saying, "What I read sounded very Nicki Minaj, which, if you know Nicki Minaj, is not too kind. It's not very polite." Well, Minaj didn't let Cyrus forget those remarks at the 2015 MTV Music Video Awards.
"This that had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Miley, what's good?"
Miley Cyrus immediately fired back at Minaj.
We're all in this industry. We all do interviews, and we all know how they manipulate. Nicki, congratulations.
Iggy Azalea is skeptical. During her acceptance speech for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist at the 2014 BET Awards, Minaj said something that was largely considered to be a huge diss on rapper Iggy Azalea.
What I want the world to know about Nicki Minaj is when you hear Nicki Minaj spit, Nicki Minaj wrote it.
As the New York Daily News reports, Azalea had been facing criticism for allegedly using ghostwriters for her rhymes. Minaj may have even done an impromptu Iggy Azalea impersonation. In March 2016, Azalea probably made matters worse by bringing up the beef on Watch What Happens Live.
I have just as many people on my writing credits as she has on hers, so I don't think there's... I know I write mine. If she writes hers, I believe her too.
The feud likely stems from a 2010 tweet by Azalea that mocked Nicki Minaj for, quote, saying she did the BET Awards live. If you say so, girl. Minaj responded to that tweet writing, "Laughing at you can't even do. Study that formula, cornball." Mariah Carey didn't feel safe.
Every moment. Oh, excuse me. The music will cut me off if I can. Oh, darling, may I express this too?
Sure, Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey collaborated on the underrated breakup song Up Out My Face in January 2010, but when they worked together again on American Idol in 2012, they were reportedly at each other's throats.
Let me get off the panel.
Nicki's mad, she's walking out.
That was my move. I was gonna do that the next time she
I was
ragged
gonna
on
walk
me.
out.
One backstage brawl allegedly involved Minaj berating Carey and threatening to, quote, knock her teeth out. Minaj reportedly also said, "If I had a gun, I would shoot her." Multiple sources confirmed the gun remark, including Mariah Carey, who told Barbara Walters,
"It felt like an unsafe work environment. Anytime anybody's reeling threats at somebody."
Carey said that Minaj's alleged outburst was, quote, not appropriate, especially since she was on the road with 2 babies.
"I'm not going to take any chances, so yeah, I did hire more security."
Minaj denied ever threatening Carey in a tweet, writing, "Let's just say Nicki said something about a gun. People will believe it because she's a black rapper." In a subsequent 2015 radio interview, Carey was asked if she'd ever come back to American Idol.
Hell no, absolutely not. That was the worst experience of my life.
Well, we can't imagine why that might be.
I want to lose 3 pounds.
I know how you can.
It's a quote from Mean Girls. If you knew Mean Girls, you would know.
I do know Mean Girls.
Lil Kim, big fight. For decades, Lil Kim went by Queen B after her late boyfriend Biggie Smalls gave her the nickname. But Nicki Minaj later took the Queen moniker for herself, which didn't make Kim very happy. During a 2018 interview with Los Angeles radio station Real 92.3, Lil Kim said,
"I was named that. I never named myself that.
Yeah.
It's a difference. When the streets name you that,
Right.
Biggie named me that. I didn't name myself."
Lil Kim was asked what started her beef with Minaj in a 2012 interview with Power 105's The Breakfast Club.
I never had a problem with her. I was always nice with her. Always. She was a very obnoxious person, but I was always nice with her.
She went on to claim Minaj copied her sound, talked smack behind her back, and, quote, wanted to be the only female rapper in the game. The feud was still simmering in June 2018 when Kim told Entertainment Tonight she didn't know Minaj, all while praising Cardi B.
What do you make of Cardi B and Nicki Minaj?
You know, Cardi is my girl. I don't know the other one. Cardi is my girl, and so I'm so excited for my girl Cardi.
Finally, by August 2018, Kim sounded ready to let the beef die, telling Real 92.3,
God bless her. What she did. But you know what? God bless her. I wish her the best. I'm past that. I'm over it.
Did Minaj stab Safaree Samuels? In a 2015 diss track called Lifeline, Nicki Minaj's ex Safaree Samuels claimed he ghost-wrote several of Minaj's lyrics on the Pink Print. Then in 2018, he turned around and denied he'd ghost-written anything. This inspired Minaj to go off on him in an interview with Hot 97.
Now years later you want to come back and say, oh, by the way, I lied. Years later after you've tried to tarnish my image.
In response to that interview, Samuels tweeted, "That looks like someone who either still cares or just holding on to a lot of hate towards someone." That's when all hell broke loose. Minaj accused Safaree of stealing from her, tweeting, "You stole my card and told me you thought it was an account with free money that I didn't know about." Then Safaree responded with a tweet accusing Minaj of stabbing him. "Remember the night you cut me and I almost died? The police and ambulance had to take me out the crib on a stretcher, and I had to lie and tell them I was trying to kill myself so they wouldn't take you to jail?" Minaj never actually denied cutting Samuels, opting instead to change the subject to hair restoration. Travis Scott's Minaj problem. When Travis Scott's album Astroworld dropped a week and 12 hours before Nicki Minaj's record Queen, it blocked her from having a #1 debut. Minaj was furious. She even pointed the finger at Scott's wife Kylie Jenner and their baby Stormy Webster for promoting the album, tweeting, "I put my blood, sweat and tears in writing a dope album only for Travis Scott to have Kylie Jenner post a tour pass telling people to come see her and Stormy." Minaj put it a different way in an interview with Ellen.
When someone says how they feel, they're not always upset or angry.
Well, what were you feeling?
I felt like I wanted to punch him in his face. Okay.
After all Minaj's ranting, TMZ reported that Scott and Jenner had their seats moved away from Minaj at the MTV Video Music Awards. In fact, video footage even reportedly showed Jenner pivoting away from Minaj on the red carpet. Awkward.